Hello, welcome to Patched. I'm your host, Paul James. Today I'm joined by Matto Phillips. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good.
Oh,
Just
good to
good.
hear. Just good.
Just good.
Well, geez, how would it have been had we not had a whole bunch of awesome game releases, game announcements then this week?
Oh no, I'd be absolutely down if that was the case.
Well, the
And
game
just
industry delivered for you this week then.
announcements I never thought I'd hear in this day
Yeah,
and
there's a
age.
few, like two out of the three that we're going to discuss today are pretty out of left field sort of announcements. So,
There's still bigger announcements than Ridge Racer.
was there a Ridge Racer announcement recently?
No.
Oh,
When Ridge
if
Racer got announced, everyone's just like, don't care.
Ridge Racer.
Like, no. Gran Turismo, thanks, not Ridge Racer.
So, as I just kind of foreshadowed, there's a few different game announcements that we're going to discuss today. We've seen Max Payne, Tomb Raider, and even a Monkey Island title. And we're going to go through the various announcements one by one. We'll start with Max Payne because I don't know.
Or maybe let's just start off with one thing we were supposed to say last week.
Oh yeah, okay. We'll
Completely forgot about it.
Which
Because
says everything you need to know.
it's the lack of care we have for this game, which is Breath of the Wild 2 being delayed. Don't care.
2023. Yeah.
2023. Don't care.
We planned last week to just throw it in there while we were talking about all the PlayStation Plus stuff, and
We forgot about it.
we forgot about it, which kind of, I guess, further highlights the disdain we have for the original Breath of the Wild.
And also, I found out this week when you put Breath of the Wild was overrated, there were more people than just you and me.
Yeah, but I suspect, without having kind of asked each person since, I'd imagine those people are going, oh yeah, it's like an 8 or a 9 out of 10, but it's not a perfect 10, whereas we're like, shit's like a 4 or a 5.
Perfect 10. So I'm sorry.
Well, that's
Even
how
a
the
9.
internet treats it. So
A 9, no. Like you said, maybe a 4 or 5, sure. Age of Calamity, that's a perfect 10.
I can just imagine Jamie and other Nintendo fans they've already thrown their phones if they're listening to the podcast on the computer. They've punched their screens.
He would have stopped his mowing, just
Screamed to the sky,
just gone, what?
tossed his phone under the mower and kept going.
Or just thrown it into a nearby water holding device. It could be a pond, a river. I could have been
A creek,
pool, anything that contained water.
the closest puddle.
Closest puddle, yeah. Well, depends. Is it a Spider-Man puddle or is it a puddle?
Well, thankfully, the HD-ness of the puddle won't dictate how much water there is. So,
Because he might throw it, then all of a sudden the puddle's gone.
oh yeah, sorry, good point. Oh shit, you're touching on some great references so far. Well, yeah, we had that announcement last week. We kind of brushed by that. We ignored that. It'll come out in 2023. I'll probably still try to draft it in the Player 2 Fantasy Draft because everyone else is foolish and will think the game's I don't know. Maybe they'll get rid of the weapon degradation. And
Oh, if that's the case, then 10 out of 10, straight up. Don't you worry about that.
Weapon degradation to any game, it's infinitely worse for it.
Except for The Witcher 3, because they figured it out just perfectly.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, good point. There's a little bit, but yeah, it's and you can
Not 3 hits
course
and you're
correct.
done. 3 hits, you're done. That's
Yeah.
get out.
And all you need to do is patch it back up, and it's in full health. It doesn't just break. It's not irreversible.
It's not Far Cry 5, so
Yeah.
you can't patch those perks.
That was New Dawn, I think. But anyway, the game announcements. So we'll start with Max Payne, because that's just kind of the order I listed them when we were discussing things. But also, you've got at least a little investment in it. You've done some Max Payne content in the past. What do you make of the fact that Rockstar announced in a financial thing, or maybe it was Remedy that announced in a financial thing, that Rockstar is allowing them to take their franchise back to do a remake of Max Payne 1 and Max Payne 2?
Well, if that's the case, then clearly Rockstar's spending far too much time on their multiplayer game.
No, mate, that's just because they're spending all this time on GTA 6. You wait, it's going to come out next year.
Sure it is. But I will say it is a good thing that they gave it to Remedy Games because, like you said, they made the first 2 Max Payne games.
Yeah.
So
They sold it to Rockstar afterwards
so it's in good hands the way I look at it. But the question I have is it going to be a full remake, or are they just going to put some extra polygons in and then forget about a door, and then everyone's going to complain about it?
Oh no, not the door.
And
Borrow
then
that from
everyone's
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
all Remedy's got to do is just look at what Rockstar did with their 3 games, defined editions, and that.
And don't do that.
Exactly, and don't do what they did. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, it's a fair start. I mean, I'm just interested to know whether, whether it's just, okay, let's straight up remake the game. Like, everything is the same, but it's, gorgeous visuals. Like, it just looks fantastic. I mean, it's going to be done in the Control engine. So, we know the Control looked amazing. So, it'll look fantastic, but, are they just literally recreating everything one for one, but looking like a 10 out of 10? Or are they going to do that, but also, we'll rework this little bit, and we'll change this little bit, and we'll add some extra dialogue here and change this. That's the sort of remake I hope we get, where it's still the core game. The story doesn't change, but they add to it.
Yeah, so if the way I see it, if they get it to almost like a Max Payne 3 look, I'm all good with that. Don't exactly do what Max Payne 3 did.
Suddenly continuity gets screwed up, and all of a sudden
that was Rockstar's thing, what they did there. But as long as it's sort of, I'd say the gun gameplay is fine, or your covering systems, all that. But be that it is Remedy, they did Control. It's pretty much, you could just put Max Payne, swap out Max Payne with, I can't remember what the person's name was from Control. Is it Jess? Yes, it is Jess. Jesse. And you wouldn't know the difference because it's pretty much already there. They've already done it. It's not just taking some gaming company that's doing something completely different and you scratch your head at and go, why? It's already there, ready to go.
Yeah, it's good to go. The team that made it there has got in Control again. I don't know, it's pretty promising, I guess. I'm pretty keen for it.
Yes, let's just say it's probably better than the so-called quadruple A, Perfect Dark, Crystal Dynamics, whatever the hell it is, game. This is far more promising than that. And it hasn't even, all I've had is an announcement. That's it. Nothing else. Because we already know the disaster that happened there.
Yeah, we've obviously had a recent episode about that, but that's such a worry, that game.
But we're pretty sure, let's be certain, honestly, Remedy's not going to lose like half their staff on one game.
Yeah, and I guess I mean, look, the Remedy situation's interesting. I was going to go with a segue there since we were talking about Crystal Dynamics, but I'll hold off. The Remedy situation's interesting in a similar sort of way to Crystal Dynamics because they're obviously working on these, but they've got deals with, they're working on Alan Wake 2, that's already announced. They've got other deals there, they did. They obviously just recently put out, and it was a flop in the end. But there was the FPS. Oh shit! It was the Korean first-person shooter franchise. It was huge in multiplayer, and then Remedy came along and added a single-player mode to it and put it out on Xbox recently. I've gone completely blank on the name of the game.
I've never heard of a game getting ruined by a single-player campaign.
No. Well, it's the rest of it didn't work out overly well either. But you could tell they didn't have their main Crossfire X.
Oh right,
that's the game I'm thinking of.
That game.
Yeah, that hit with a thud. So you've got yourself an Xbox. If you want to hate yourself for 8 hours, you can go and play that if you like. But
only 8 hours.
They've
that's
got
nothing
little deals
these days.
everywhere. So that's a short game in the AAA space these days.
Walk in the park.
So maybe consider that if you want to see how Remedy's doing currently. But
well, if you've got a game that you're not enjoying, go play that.
Yeah.
Stop playing it, go play that, then go back and play the other game. Far more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Like Shitty Witcher. It might be more enjoyable.
Yeah, Shitty Witcher would be better than Crossfire X. I'll give it that. All right. So yeah, speaking of developers that are spinning quite a few plates at the same time, you got Crystal Dynamics, who, as you mentioned, they're working on Perfect Dark, but it was also announced this week that, perhaps unsurprisingly, given how Marvel's Avengers went, that Crystal Dynamics is moving back to kind of their bread and butter, and we've got a new Tomb Raider game on the way. All we really know so far is it is designed to bridge the gap between, I guess, young Lara that we've seen in Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and the original games. How they plan to do that, I don't know.
The original games?
Yeah.
You mean like the old 1990
experienced Lara. And when I say bridge the gap, I don't think that suddenly means that her tits are just going to become enormous for no good reason.
Well, people are going to go on the quest to find the nude cheat code that doesn't really exist.
Nude Raider.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. That's the case.
So I don't. Yeah, obviously they're not gonna. That's not really the focus. But I suspect they'll just go, hey, that was a technology thing. Let's not make her disproportionately large through the chest and make the game into something it's not supposed to be.
We've got skins for that to put in there, like they did previous games, and you just laugh and go, that looks terrible, and go back to
you go revert back to the one that makes sense, the way they'd clearly designed it in the first place. One of the interesting things, I guess, like we really don't know much about the game beyond that they're at the very, very beginning of development. Jeff Ross, who was one of the studio heads from Ben's studio, who did Days Gone, he's been kind of in the wild for a while. No one's really quite known what he's up to, but he's coming across to help the team. So that's some great experience there. Yeah, well, maybe it does become a zombie game. Freakers, mate. Freakers. They're called Freakers.
Freakers. What they're called. I haven't played the game, so I don't really know.
It's a pretty solid game.
Well,
better than everyone says.
What's the guy's name? Declan or whatever his name is.
Deacon St. John. And
just bring him over the Tomb Raider. Just bring him over the Tomb Raider for a little bit. Just because Sony's not going to be using him anytime soon, unless there's a Smash style game
or a buyout.
Or a buyout. Just take your pick.
Jeez, wouldn't that be weird at the moment? Like if you. Because obviously people are still talking about what's Sony going to do with the big studio buy. Let's suppose they buy Square Enix, which means they get Crystal Dynamics, which means they're developing an Xbox exclusive in Perfect Dark. Or do you just, or if you're Sony, do you just turn and go, no?
Oh, the old tables have turned on Crystal Dynamics and Bethesda.
Yeah.
The final game to come out on Xbox.
But maybe I could see PlayStation going, nah, rip that contract up. You've got a team working on it. They can do it on their own. We're going to take them and make Tomb Raider.
Yeah, you said they'll rip it up, and their 5 employees that they still have will still be there.
Yeah, but I guess like the studio division thing, I am interested to kind of know like how long Tomb Raider is going to take, because they are divided between 2 big games. Like Perfect Dark is, I mean, from everything we've heard and again what we've discussed in that past episode, is like it really sounds like the initiative's not overly big, and it sounds like a lot of the lifting is being done by Crystal Dynamics. So how big is Crystal Dynamics to then allow a Tomb Raider game to be developed at the same time? I don't know. What do you want to see from a new Tomb Raider, though? One that is supposed to bridge the gap.
I don't know. What more can you do? All we're going to do, find some treasure and get destroyed. And then Jonah will just turn up in the middle of nowhere where you need his help the most and just appear. Or Jonah might not be there. We don't know. Jonah might just have given up at that time. Just gone, nah, you're on your own.
Not my shit anymore. I'm done with this. You're getting too old.
I'm too old, Lara. Can't do this anymore. Maybe he just has a nice little fishing business on the side or something, or a surfing business, or just somewhere tropical for Jonah.
He's just pulling up a Nathan Drake, going into retirement.
Yeah. Oh, so he's going just doing some craning. Is he some deep sea diving?
Deep sea welding and whatnot.
Deep sea welding. Ah, I see what he's up to. Do the old sneaky. Get out of nowhere.
Deep sea welder.
It's just like Uncharted 4. Out of nowhere, Jonah just turns up. What are you doing?
Don't ask me. I'm just here. Let's go get some treasure.
He just gets back on his boat and just leaves. It's just okay. See you, Jonah.
Thanks, mate. That was a good 5 minutes.
Thanks for your help, Jonah. Much appreciated. That's going to be interesting.
I can get around this.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what new treasure, where we go this time around, how it's all going to... Are they still going to go the same style as the other 3, or change it? So hopefully they just don't do what they did with Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
I still really like Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Yeah, it wasn't quite as good.
I liked it, but it's just ease off on all the collectibles and just focus more on... Oh yeah,
they really did load that up.
Story. That's all I care about. Just less collectibles. Have some collectibles, go for your life, but don't just put like hundreds of them. Like that's overkill. Like, or break this tree, or destroy these little hangy things in the tree.
I have it on my to-do list at some point to get the platinum for all those recent Tomb Raiders, but we'll see. I think there's a bit of work I'd need to do still. I think. Let me have a look. Tomb Raider.
roaming around trying to find that one little dangly piece in the
Oh,
bush somewhere.
I mean, I'd have to use a guide if I was going to go down that path. I'm using a guide. I'm shameless.
Oh no, I would do the same because it would just drive me absolutely insane. I'll be there for like 2 hours trying to find one stupid thing, and it's probably one stupid thing I've probably walked past about 100 times, not realizing.
Yeah,
As it
yeah,
always
that's what
is.
can happen with this collectible sort of thing. I'm going to turn that off because I can see an ad's about to
But
start playing. That'll ruin
saying
our episode.
I am excited for a new Tomb Raider game.
Oh yeah, I'm super hyped.
To see a more old Lara. Are we going down the Indiana Jones path?
Well, keep in mind it's still meant to be between the old Lara stuff and the new, so she's still going to be pretty young. Because what?
I know, I was gonna say she
Lara
could
in the
be in
original
the,
games would be what, 30s at the
yeah, I was
most.
gonna say she could be in like a class just teaching people archaeology and all that stuff, and
I mean, that'd be interesting.
getting chased by boulders. Probably not that part.
You could have like like the whole thing is her teaching a class, but she references different things from time to time, and the game flashes back
Oh, we
to
all flashback.
Lost style.
All lost. Aha. Yes. Actually, I was just say minus the plane crash, but let's be honest here, it
She'll
probably
have
would
one
be
of
a
those
plane
too.
crash. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind the idea of her teaching a class, and like it kind of cuts back, like she's she's kind of referencing some of her experiences as kind of a part of her teaching, but when she does that, you actually then play out whatever that whole thing was. Could be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Jeff Ross and the team, I know you're still looking to hire people. Get on the phone. I'm good for it.
We'll give
I'll
you
be
the
a
ideas.
narrative lead.
It's alright. Our listeners have quadrupled in the last week.
Yeah, the podcast listening number's been nuts, but anyway. Any other thoughts on Tomb Raider at all?
No, I would say as long as they keep all their little combat systems in there, I'm all good.
They've got a good starting point,
Yeah.
so I think they can go pretty
There's,
easy.
I would say there's not much to fix. All that, like I said, less collectibles. That's it. That's all I care about.
Oh, sorry, shit. Yeah, no, that's probably my main sticking point from Shadow. I don't think I had as many issues with Shadow as a lot of other people, but
No, I said it's not a bad game. It's
it's
just
a great game.
yeah, it's just like
A bit bloated.
Yeah, don't want to hunt a bear. Don't know if you hunt a bear in that one.
I can't remember.
I can't remember. There was a lot of things.
There's a lot going on in all of them. The story started getting pretty loose for a while there. So speaking of kind of, I guess, loose stories, our next segue for the episode, there's a new Monkey Island game. Ron Gilbert is developing, who is one of the original creators of Secret of Monkey Island and those sorts of games, is doing a Monkey Island game again. So, do you have much history with any of the Monkey Island games? At all?
It's one of those games I've never played, but I've known about it for like 20 years. Because everyone back in the day always used to talk about it.
You didn't ever play it like on your primary school computers or anything like that?
No, all we had was rubbish Microsoft games and Nickelodeon 3D Animator.
Oh, you
wasn't
had
that.
to go to...
Had to go to a better school.
Yeah, my primary school.
Nah, did have it.
Because yeah, we had a whole bunch. Yeah, I can't remember. If it was Curse of Monkey Island or Secret of Monkey. I don't know, whichever one. No, Secret of Monkey Island 1 and 2. I think were both on the computers, and I think I played all of them via school at like lunchtimes or whenever we had library sessions. Like, yeah, I grabbed a book. Like we're going to be here for half an hour, so people can choose books. Great. I'll pick a book in the first 30 seconds and then go and play a game for the next 29 minutes.
I'll pick this one. It's the same book as last week. I want this one.
I love this book.
I love this book. Right? Computer time. Yeah, like I said, it's a game from 30 years ago. The first one, we should say.
Yeah.
First one. I didn't realize there was more than one. I only thought there was like two.
Yeah, no, there's that. And then Telltale did a Monkey Island series as well.
I think the more interesting thing out of the whole thing is, I think, out of the dead, was it Lucasfilm or Lucas Games?
Yeah, LucasArts, yep.
Is back after being shut down by Disney. Then Disney realized everyone else makes a really rubbish Star Wars game, so they thought, oh dear, better get them back.
Yeah, we need to get them back to kind of oversee things. So you've got the pairing of Ron Gilbert, you've got Lucasfilm, and you've got Devolver. Devolver's a part of it as well. So, got a very excited email from our mate Doug. With the
Really?
oh my god, it's happening! Oh, he loves Monkey Island. So, when the email came out that he ultimately had to like forward on
to everyone else, his
on his media list, you could see the excitement, and it was a pretty brief sort of message because everything else was basically him just forwarding it on. But geez, he was happy. You could tell.
Oh my god, guys, Monkey Island's here, guys. Monkey Island.
I've been I'll have to try and
waiting
find the
20 years for this game.
There's something along those lines. So, and like, yes, there's kind of the fan perspective as well, but I think the thing that kind of struck me the most, and I guess it's kind of a perk of even having done Dev Diary over the years, is that like the number of guests that I've had on the show over the journey that have all referenced like one of the Monkey Island games as being like an important reference point for them. Or
you got to sort of realize too, when it probably came out as well, that there probably weren't a lot of other games out there that did what Monkey Island did.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it was like 92 when it first came out. Most people are still doing 2D platformers at this stage, or little type adventures that
a lot of text adventures and those sorts of things. Everything else is pretty. I mean, they were mostly dying because you did have Nintendo that were doing their thing at the time, and so the console space was up and running. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's been 30 years. Like I found Doug's email. It just says, "Morning. I've been waiting 30 years for this. Enjoy," and then just forwards on the rest of the email. So, but yeah, like the number of developers that I've had on the show that have referenced it as being an important game when they were growing up, or like towards the end of an episode when I say, if you could go back and re-experience a game for the first time, just wipe it from memory and get to go again. And the number of people that reference Monkey Island games is really incredible. So, obviously, like the fan love is huge, but like the importance to the games that are being made now is kind of crazy as well, still. Or to the importance to the people who are making the games of now is kind of crazy as well. So, super important game, and it's coming out this year, which is a cool thing. Return to Monkey Island.
Nowhere.
So, apparently, they've been working on it for a couple of years already. So,
wow, they've actually kept it secret this whole time.
Devolver's good
amazing.
Like that. Devolver's good like that.
That's amazing. So, like days like this where you don't get big surprises anymore. It's just, it's been leaked. We better just tell everyone.
Yeah, let's make it official soon. Yeah, why not?
And then piss everyone off for the next few years because, we want it out now. It's just, hey, calm down, people. It's not finished.
If it didn't leak, you wouldn't have known about this, and you wouldn't have had to wait 5 years. You would have waited 2 months.
Yes. Then you got the game, and then everyone's happy because you go, oh yeah, it's finished, it's done, and there's no rush. It's just there, like a normal game should.
Yeah, like no offense to them, but yeah, like the thing that's kind of the game that constantly bothers me for that sort of reason at the moment is Hollow Knight Silksong. Like that game's been announced for 4 years and they've just been silent since. Like fuck.
Can you say the same about Metroid as well?
Hey,
the Metroid game. We heard like one thing. We heard like
Metroid Prime 4 was in that boat. Yeah, they announced it.
So like we're starting again. We got a new studio. Then last year, they're still working on it. Then this year, or maybe a picture or something.
I think next year will be the year for that one. I think Retro will have had enough time by that point. But yeah, I mean that one's a weird one just because of the circumstances. But yeah, like the stock standard one where you don't have development change. Like you announced this 4 years ago and then you've just been silent since. Like maybe you shouldn't have announced it as soon as you did because now everyone's just waiting.
Yeah, it's just like the old Marvel games coming out. There's pressure on that now because 2023 or 2023. Let's say 2023. You got your little Gotham game coming out this year, and that's
Gotham
been
Knights.
announced.
You got Suicide Squad next year. Wonder Woman somewhere in development.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Well, God knows how long that'll take.
One pointless trailer, and that was it. Not say it was pointless. It's just let's announce Wonder Woman.
It just didn't really say anything.
Showed nothing really. It's just there's Wonder Woman. Great, fantastic. Gameplay would have been great, but hey. There's a Wonder Woman game coming out.
So Ron Gilbert and Devolver and Disney, LucasArts films.
Disney?
You're doing it right. Well, technically, LucasArts, that's Disney.
Well, it is Disney, but let's remember here, Disney did shut them down.
Yeah, a long time ago.
And then realized the mistake they did when they gave EA the rights to make a Star Wars game, and they stuffed it up.
Time and time
all
again.
but one. All but one, I'll say.
Thank you, Respawn. Oh, and
Oh, the little shooty thing, right?
Yeah.
The one with the. I said aeroplanes, X-wing, I should say, X-wings, squadrons.
Squadrons.
No, not
Yeah, good one.
squadrons. The squadrons. Well,
Yeah,
get that
it is
mixed up.
Squadrons. Yeah, you're right.
Well, I thought it was for a second. I was getting it mixed up with Road Squadron for a second.
No, you nailed it. Any other thoughts on Monkey Island? Or any of the other announcements?
I want to see. Maybe I should go check on Steam and see if they have it somewhere to play.
Oh, they 100% would.
If that's the case, I'm buying it so I can play it and then see what all the talk is about that Doug is excited about for 30 years.
I'm keen to see you do this now. Hell, there's a good like playthrough series on for player 2 in that. Where you get stumped on some of these ridiculous puzzles that are in the game.
Oh, the old scratch your head trying to figure out like what the hell is this?
What item do I need to use on this door? And like, why did I just mash a sandwich together in the shape of a key, like in a key, so that it would go like that? I mean, obviously that's not a specific answer, but like it's those sorts of ludicrous things.
So it's MacGyver in a game.
Yeah, the best kind of way.
The best kind of way.
Jeez, if this actually happens, I'll be riveted. Like I'll sit and watch that without any doubt.
I could be there for days just trying to figure out one thing.
Yeah, you just got to gently rock the dual screen setup so that you can just gradually move your cursor across to an IGN guide or something like that and get your answer.
Quickly just try and make it look like...
so long.
Taking so long. Let me just think for a second.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
I think I got an idea.
There you go. And off you go. So...
Wow, I fixed it. I figured it out. How could I have done it? Maybe
faster than most people. It's great.
Imagine if I could just find an old an old Monkey Island book with just a guide.
Just have it open in front of you,
or blow the dust off it.
Print off, find an old game facts guide, print it off, all 100 pages or whatever.
I'd be a bit scared to find that. I'd be a bit scared because I feel like all the print will just disappear. I'll just have blank pages. I'll just blow the dust with all the writing with it.
It all just disappears.
And then I have to try and figure out what it says and just wing it from there. Like, go to the key, blah, 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 open. Okay.
Got it. Put the key in the door to open. Nah, it's not working.
Nah, that's wrong.
Well, we're stuck.
Put the key in the bucket. No. Go see if it's there.
Well, Matto continues to work out the solution to the first problem in Secret of Monkey Island 1. We'll wrap things up there for that episode. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. All the buttons down below. Hit the notification bell. That way you're alerted to every new video the moment it goes live on the channel. That includes more patched, Player 2 plays, Gamer School, and a whole bunch more. Awesome stuff there, so please subscribe and go and check it out. Visit the website, player2.net.au, for reviews, previews, opinion pieces, news, features, links to the podcast series, Patch, the Player 2 Pixelcast, and Dev Diary. On the preview side, less than about 8 hours ago, people will have had the opportunity to jump on the Player 2 website and see my preview of Nintendo Switch Sports. I went to Nintendo just last week to go hands-on with the game, and came back with a leg strap.
Another one? How's that going to help?
I actually came back with two. It was all they've got so many from all these years of not running events, and then you add COVID stuff on top of it. It's like there was enough anxiety about me passing COVID on. I was the first person for the day. Of me passing COVID onto someone else via this, that I took that as well as a boxed one, as well as the one I've got already in the house for whatchamacallit, Ring Fit. So anyway, go check out my thoughts on Nintendo Switch Sports on the website there, and stay tuned for a review whenever that.
I'm just thinking about all those injuries I'm going to get.
Mate, it is so good. It is the Wii Sports all over again in all the best possible ways.
Try to hit an imaginary tennis ball as hard as I can, when all you have to do is just that.
Cock the wrist
just a flick of the wrist, not the full on just motion, just go whack.
I was getting right into it during the preview. And people see, actually, there's a couple photos that were taken. So I went through all the 6 sports, and then they go, okay, we've got about 10 minutes left. So do you want to go try some others again? I'm like, yeah, okay. So I did the soccer, so I could try out the strap again, and actually try and get my head around some of the gyro that goes on with that. they were taking photos on my phone. So you'll see a photo of me kind of beautifully with a beautiful kick that thankfully it's a picture, so you don't see
All I
the
just
fact that
want
I
to do is
just
see
missed
pictures
afterwards.
of people just like doing the old fun times. Then you just seriously like trying to kick a ball as hard as you can that doesn't really exist.
I did actually find that like kind of swinging your leg as if you were actually having a proper crack and trying to get like, because it's a timing exercise. So actually kind of going through, I'm not going to go as far as say full blooded, but with a degree of
Full force.
yeah, to actually means that your timing. I felt like my timing was better because I was actually taking it seriously, like properly
no.
seriously. So that could
So
be
it's
good and
not
bad
gonna
for
be-
households everywhere.
It's not going to no longer be shoulder injuries and wrist injuries. It's now going to be hamstrings as
Yeah,
well.
people are tearing hamstrings everywhere.
Pulling abs.
It's the only
How'd you
sport.
do your hamstring? I was trying to pretend to kick a ball on a sports game.
Yeah.
Like, oh, not another one.
it's happening again. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/player2au, kicking a few bucks, lower tiers early access, high tiers monthly episode exclusives, and finally there's Twitter. Matto.
_Phil.
Paul James Games for me. The website is player2au, and until next week, no, what is it? Early in the month? I don't know. What are we doing?
I
No,
know.
it's just oh yeah, that's right. It's like the 9th. It's super
We're a bit-
early. in the
we're a
month
bit
right
early
now.
for updates.
No updates until next week when something presumably happens throughout the week and we've got something to talk about. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you later.